Every time I hear that part of it, I feel like I'm on a horse.
Yeah, it's like a riding horse.
Yeah. So, hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome
So,
to the off-season football.
yeah. Sent you a little tweet this morning here that Scott Hansen put out, and he said pretty much 16 more Sundays.
When I seen that, man, I got like a quick chills. I was like, woof. And at first I was just like, no, it's longer than that. And then I was just like, 16 Sundays, that is 4 months.
I did it. I'm like, yeah.
Yep. That is 4 months. Man.
Yeah. So
it's a happy time, but a sad time. It's like, dang, man, we gotta wait that long.
Yeah, it's fine. We got stuff to do. So, as you can see by the title, it's the AFC free agency roundup. 2 weeks ago, we did the NFC, which, obviously we still pay attention to, but not nearly as close as our home conference. So, this one may be a little bit more animated, what have you. Obviously, we're going to be touching on our own team as well, so that there's that always helps. But yeah.
I feel like there was just more moves made in AFC anyway. I don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you put them side by side, I don't know. But I just feel, just hearing, all the news and everything, it just seemed like people in the AFC was like quick to make some drastic changes as opposed to the NFC kind of stayed pat. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'll look into that, and I'll, the next time we record here, I'll let you know the numbers, because that's actually an interesting thing. I didn't really even think to really pull that up. So, well, yeah. So the basic kind of premise of what we're doing here, and I'm changing it a little bit for the AFC side, mostly because I found a better site to kind of pull the info from. With the NFC, we did the incomings and the outgoings. The site I'm looking at now, we're just doing the incomings. Because realistically, we're gonna know like some of the drastic, going aways of the players, and we've probably either already touched on it or we will later in the episode because they went to the conference. So,
okay,
yeah. So let's get the ball rolling here. We're gonna start in the AFC East, mostly just because, well, that's what the website starts with. So deal with it.
Okay.
So the Buffalo Bills, and actually it's pretty cool because they actually had like however this is set up, it's really, really nice. And I'm not I'm not going to touch on any. Hold on. Sorry, I got sick because I saw the first name on the list and got real nauseous there. Sorry. No, we're not going to touch on any defensive players because this is a fantasy football show. And yeah, I get defensive players matter in regards to going against said offensive players, but we're not doing that. So sorry.
Yeah, defensive players and maybe not linemen. I don't know. We didn't say nothing about linemen or anything.
The only lineman I talked about was Kelsey, and that's because obviously the tush push, which is
tush push. Yep.
Other than that, who cares? Not who cares. Obviously it makes a huge difference, but who's name dropping a lineman, dude? Who's gonna be like, oh, yo, stop it. Find a fucking hobby. All right. Yeah. Anyway, let's go. Let's get in here. So it goes by skill position and just kind of goes its way down the depth chart. So Bills signed Mitchell Trubisky. That's why I had my little coughing fit. Okay. All right. Yeah. Practice squatted up, bub. That's fine. Do your thing.
Well, at this point in his career, Mr. Trubisky he's getting over. So any team that employs him, I consider him a smart man because he is trash. And if anybody's willing to employ him, he got over on them.
Yeah, especially Josh Allen he is just made of like armor. So
he do not get hurt. Yeah,
And it's crazy because he should get hurt on how he plays. He should
the way he
absolutely get hurt
plays.
all the time. But he's like 6'7", 360. So it's like, yeah, I don't get hurt. Sorry.
Yeah.
And, oh, sorry. Oh, jeez. Chase Claypool. God, I caught.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's called shitty Stiller. That's what you got.
really.
Yeah.
Chase
They're taking
Claypool.
rejects.
Yeah, obviously he's going to be taking over for Diggs. Obviously.
I can't believe I still got that dude's jersey. I'm so pissed when I look at it in my closet. Like, why this jersey?
Yeah, I do not know what they think they're getting. They are not going to get over the hump with him. Their next person on the list is Mac Hollins of Raiders fame.
Wow. I'll roll Mac Hollins one of those years.
You did.
Nobody gave him a chance, but I put him in that lineup and he produced.
Probably their biggest offensive signing would be Curtis Samuel, which is not a high watermark. It's like the fattest. It's like the thinnest.
Like the third wide receiver. He's like a gadget player.
Yeah. I mean, he apparently is just really. I don't know. I wouldn't say Buffalo is a bad team, but I would say they're kind of a bad team now. So he's just like attracted to like shitty situations. So that's fun.
Yeah, like unless Buffalo plans to build through either they made some great draft picks or something, but offseason wise, they didn't do nothing to help their cause.
Oh, and by the way, here real quick, so everyone knows here, because there might be people that are like, oh, well, you didn't talk about the draft. That's because we don't really follow that part of it necessarily. I let people that are much smarter than me kind of cover that stuff because I'm not a college guy. I don't really follow it. I don't watch it. But I do learn about it as the year goes on. Anyone that's listened to our show last year realizes this is a different fantasy football show. This is very much a gut feeling type of thing. We're not going to get hung up on the analytics. Yes, we will definitely go over numbers and certain things will kind of come into play with that, but we're more of, I guess you could say, the thinking man's show. You know, put the numbers to the side. What do you really think? Like, what do you feel here? So just so that's kind of out of the way if anyone's curious. Anyway, next, MVS. Good God. All right, cool. Enjoy your 15 catches this year. Now, with that being said, you do have the person that well, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, he actually might thrive a little bit because as long as he can catch the ball. Because Josh can throw that bitch 70 yards in the air.
Yes, he can.
And MVS, all he is legs with like longer toes for hands. So, you know, we'll see. But his biggest thing, his thing is never getting to the ball. That's always fine. It's him like understanding, oh, I gotta catch this? Oh.
Yeah.
Well then. I was not aware of that.
He's another one that goes from team to team, and I feel like he's getting the better end of the bargain.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, he got 4.5 for a 1 year deal. I'll give you an example here too. Curtis got a 3-year, $30 million, so he's getting 10 a year.
$10 million a year for Curtis Samuel? What?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I would say the one big thing, and I don't really want to cover linemen, but they did sign Deion Dawkins for 3 years for $60 million, the tackle. So that's a fat deal. So, you know, keep Josh upright. I mean, that's pretty difficult to not do because once again,
Deion Dawkins was already there, right? Or they brought him in from somewhere else.
Well, so no, he was already there, but they
shored him up.
They gave him an extension. So I think that's pertinent to at least talk just a mention to say, hey, look, here you go. Let's keep him alive.
Well, I mean, the website that you said before had the outgoings and the income. You said
Yes.
this one don't, but
yes,
it's kind of hard to
I
talk
know.
about Buffalo
I
without
know.
two people that left.
Well, one person that left. The
One person.
really
The
never
other
there,
person
to be
is
honest.
he'll never get out of your doghouse
Nope,
ever.
fuck that guy. Yeah. So Mr. Diggs, Mr. Diva Diggs, he went away. Look, I at a certain point, it just feels like you guys were never gonna get along. Like you, and this is the thing that always bothers me, man. Like I don't get why these players don't understand this is a team sport. You need receivers around you. You need outlets around you to make you better. You cannot, like, if you're like, well, throw me the ball every time. Oh, you know what we're going to do to stop that? We're going to put 3 people on you.
Yes.
And then you're going to be mad because you're not catching the ball. It's like, well, what did you want? What did you, in your head, what did you think was going to happen? How was this going to play out?
Yes.
So he's going to go somewhere else. I don't know where he went. We'll get to it. But you're just crying.
So I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but that was the knock on him. He never wanted another receiver. He always wanted everything himself. Because I remember before the season, before D Hop went to Tennessee, they were floating around that he was going to go to Buffalo. So if Diggs had anything to do with him not going there, like, why would you, like,
God,
if you're AJ Brown, don't you think AJ Brown appreciates Devontae Smith?
Yes.
Doesn't you think he appreciates Dallas Goedert?
He gives him a reach around every game in the shower, like every post game. He's like, "Yo, Smith, thank you." Like, and that's just the thing. Like, you're so dumb. You're so dumb. Like, do you think Diggs would have been that great without Thielen? No, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have. And do you think he really thrived in Buffalo? He had some big blow up games, but
yeah.
I think when you really kind of look back at his career and you look at what he did, you're gonna see his stats and to be like, yo, you were a monster in Minnesota. You were okay in Buffalo. Like that, and
in Buffalo, he had, like you said, great games, but when it mattered most in those most critical games, he was a milk carton. I mean, he would disappear, or the team's game plan was to stop him and only him.
Yes, and you know why? Because the other person that left, we don't talk about him around these parts. You can say his bitch ass name if you want. Go ahead.
Is it the village? Those who we do not speak of.
Yes. No, so Gabe Davis, he went somewhere. Right? Who I don't even care.
Yeah.
He is, and look, all being objective here, like being all silliness aside, Gabe Davis fucking sucks at football. He is terrible. He is not reliable. He was their number 2. Well, no, well, you know what? I would say with Kincaid there, he was probably the number 3.
Yeah.
But cheese and rice, dude, you were bad at football. Like it is beyond me. You are.
See, I wouldn't go as far as to just say bad, just very inconsistent. I mean, like, I don't understand how 1 week you can have 120 yards and 3 touchdowns, and then the next week, no catches at all.
Well, you know what? Actually, let's talk about that. Let's talk about this. I wonder how much that had to do with. Was that a Diggs situation? Was it a? I want all of
that they went
right. Was that he got in the game plan thing? He's like, I want the ball. It's like, dude, shut the here. Take the fucking ball. Here. It's almost like you just do something to appease your child so they shut up, and like almost in spite of the success of the team, just so he shuts up and stops causing a problem. So yeah, I don't know. I still believe the talent is not there with him. Good riddance, dude. But I don't know. He just never struck me as a super reliable person. But there's like this weird allure, and I think it was because of the team he was on, that it at any week, any play, Josh could get him loose, but just the skill
Of
wasn't
all the years that I thought he was going to finally put it together and become a star receiver, it was this year. It seemed like it was always Diggs, and then there was always somebody else there that kind of was like, had you question Gabe Davis, could he step up and be the official number 2 receiver?
Right.
And I thought this was the year, and it was not.
No, it was another Gabe Davis year. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so they're both gone. That's fine. Diggs went to Texas, right?
Yeah, Houston.
Yeah. Yeah. So, God, Texas is or shoot. I don't keep calling them Texas. Houston's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. Next on the list is
No. Any running backs that come to who is going to be Buffalo's running back? Any running backs come there?
It's
Free
James Cook.
agency?
No running backs came.
Oh, James Cook is the parent. Yeah, but nobody signed or
no.
Okay.
Not.
Now, out of those wide receivers, if somehow you was forced to put one of them on your fantasy roster,
it's Samuel. Fully.
Samuel, yeah. That's
that's
probably where I was going
there's
to.
Nothing. Yeah, that's once again Dennis Kidd at Fat Camp. It's like, All right, Dolphins. He didn't sign via free agency, but they re-signed Mostert, which is always good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, God. Odell, which
I don't see how he's still picking up a check either. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening with that. They don't need someone to like clear the field, so it's just another body. I mean, it's not
to me on that Miami offense.
But
the only thing that Miami offense didn't have, and I kept saying, was a tight end. Like I don't.
Well, they did get a tight end. They did get a tight end, but real quick here, do you know how much Odell got?
No.
8.2.
Odell Beckham is a afterthought. This dude is running on fumes. Like, you know how when a lighter's running out of thing and you keep striking and eventually that little bit of flame is there?
Yeah.
That's Odell. And they're paying him 8 for that?
Yeah, they're paying him for member berries. Absolutely. So they did grab Jonnu Smith when it comes to a tight end.
Oh, okay. Maybe they finally.
But I mean, okay.
He's on the tail end of his too. I mean, he's not the Jonnu Smith in Tennessee.
Last year, that was a running joke between us last year because we're like, and the tight end is okay.
Yeah, like, they never had one. Yeah.
I mean, since Gesicki, and he just never got used. So, but yeah, Jonnu, from an offensive standpoint, that's all they did. But you know what? I don't think they really had to do too much. I mean,
Miami wasn't terrible. I mean, they just, of course, they ran into Kansas City in like what was like a record freezing day in Kansas City when they beat Miami or whatever.
Right, that's a bit unfair, but yeah, I mean, they got the running backs. I mean, Mostert, I feel like he may not be the starter. I think
A-Chain,
good old A-Chain, gonna be that dude. He is something furious, and I do know they drafted a pretty much Mostert kind of clone and A-Chain clone in the draft. So they're going to basically have like a 3-headed. We all run 3.4 40s. So yeah, come see us. I forgot. Well, no, I didn't forget, but I know Braxton Berrios re-signed with them, but who gives a shit about that? Doesn't matter. But yeah, that's all they did. So let's go to the Patriots here. So good old brisket sandwich coming into town for $8 million a year. So whatever.
Quarterback $8 million ain't nothing. But
yeah, right. And brisket, once again, he's just like, okay.
She said, somebody gonna pick up my tab. I'll keep eating for free.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Antonio Gibson.
Antonio Gibson went to New England?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
He's still gonna be a second fiddle. I mean, they got the dude Ramondre Stevenson. He's the bell call up there.
Yeah. I don't know. Gibson's kind of washed, man.
Yeah. I keep believing in him though. Like he's starting to become my Doug Baldwin a little bit because I keep somehow believing in him and I keep running him out there.
Yeah, but he got paid pretty much nothing. 11.2 for 3 years.
Dang, 3 years.
That's a real friendly deal. Yeah.
Yeah, anything under $5 million a year.
Yeah.
Any team can get past that.
Kendrick Bourne re-signed.
Okay.
He's probably going to be their number one. KJ Osborne came into town. Yeah, it's kind of a nothing burger there. Jalen Reagor, God bless America. Why is he even still playing?
How does he pick up another check? Yeah, I don't see it.
Hunter Henry re-signed. Austin Hooper signed, so they're gonna. They just really love their double tight end situations, man. They just always are doing that. I don't get it. But nothing really.
Even back in the Aaron Hernandez days, on that Tom Brady roast, they kept going at that dude. He was like, "I'm from hell." Aaron says hello.
Yeah, they really
kept attacking that dude.
They really did.
Yeah, but
yeah,
they've always loved those two tight ends. Yeah,
nothing really impressive there. Just kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, depends on the quarterback. I mean. They finally realized Mac Jones wasn't it. I mean, I would never, and I'm not to knock Alabama, but Alabama's a pro team playing with college kids. And the quarterback in Alabama don't have to do too much. So I would never be impressed with an Alabama quarterback and draft an Alabama quarterback. I mean, don't get me wrong, Tua was okay, but he didn't have to do too much. I mean, if you're an Alabama quarterback, you don't have to do too much. So I don't know why New England even drafted Mac Jones. They thought he was great because he was leading Alabama. Alabama, they got pro offensive linemen, pro defensive linemen. I mean, they got pros in every position. What did he have to do besides call Hut?
No, that's fair, man. Yeah, he just looked super overwhelmed all the time.
Lost. Every week he looked lost. Yeah. There's no game I can recall where I looked. I mean, not saying that I'm a great judge of being able to look in somebody's eyes and see if they got it, but you could just see it in his face that he didn't feel like he had command. He just looked confused.
Probably because he didn't have command.
Yeah. I mean, every game he looked confused.
Yeah.
He really did.
Rightfully so. So, JETS Jets.
Okay.
So, basically, he just kind of took the train and went somewhere else. So Tyrod Taylor is now a Jet. So he just kind of went from one part of New York to the other.
Another one to keep picking up a check. He keep picking the teams they just shuffle around.
Yeah, he's getting 9 a year, and he'll probably start. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, he's going to end up starting probably half the year.
Dang, you just wrote Aaron Rodgers off again, huh?
Yeah.
He gonna get hurt at some point, huh?
He either that or he's gonna do some more conspiracy theory shit, and they're gonna be like, "Dude, we're fucking done with you. We're over this whole get your weird ass out of this locker room. You're sitting here burning sage and shit. Get the fuck away from us." Mike Williams on a $15 million 1-year deal, and he is not even going to play 15 games. So, he is such a disappointment, dude. He is so large and so talented, but dude, you are so brittle. Drink some fucking milk or do some stretching or something, dude.
I think in all my fantasy years, I think I had him, maybe two times or maybe 3. I think just 2 years. I had him on different teams, not in our league, probably in different leagues. And yeah, that was the that was the game you had to play every week. Is he going to play? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he was hurt a
Or if he
lot.
does, you're like, dude, don't catch a pass because you jump 9 feet in the air and try to fall on your neck. So like,
He definitely has an injury problem. There's certain
yeah.
people that's just injured all the time.
Yeah, he doesn't play smart. He doesn't play smart. That's really what it is. You play to your ability, play to your skill level, play to your size, but play smart. You don't have to jump. Like he's that guy in the back in like the backyard football game that like tries to go up and do some wacky like spin like that he saw and like this is not an and one mixtape, dude. Just stop it. Like you don't need to do that. And then you come down and you're like, oh, my arm is now going the opposite direction it should be going. It's like, you
Yep.
know why? Because you were too busy trying to make some kind of Sports Center silly catch when you didn't need to do that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I've
just
definitely played those sandlot games where you got somebody that you throw a pass to, or they're being a pass is thrown to them, and they're jumping for no reason. Like you didn't
right.
have to jump to catch that. Like I even done it myself a couple of times. I'm like, why did I do that? I didn't have to jump to catch that. But you want to make it look pretty or something like that. Like, yeah. Overdoing it, like overextending himself for no reason at all. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, at the end of the day, is there a universe where he can absolutely eat and thrive? Yeah, I mean he's on the opposite side of
What's his
Garrett.
name? Garrett Wilson.
You know, that's great, but we'll see. Like that's just really what it is. We will see because
I don't think he completed a whole season
no, he hasn't.
yet. No, I don't think
absolutely
so.
not.
All right, call him finishing the whole season at any point with the Chargers.
I'm gonna skip the next division. We're gonna end with our division. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So AFC South Texans. This is exciting. Okay. So Joe Mixon. This is gonna be interesting.
Severe upgrade over Singletary.
Yep. Yeah. And it's crazy. Like, do you know what they actually gave up for him? A 7th round pick.
For Joe Mixon?
Yeah.
That's a steal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why Cincinnati would let him out the building. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Some of those free agency were some head scratchers. I'm like, what is going on? Like the Exodus in Buffalo was just a head scratcher all offseason. Like, what is?
Well, yes and no. I think they just like you got to cut the cancer out at some point, and then the inadequacies of Gabe Davis. You're just like, dude, I can't. We can't keep trotting you out there to do nothing.
Yeah.
Like
blow
you
it
need
up, start all over.
Yeah, like I don't blame that. I'm all about that. Noah Brown re-signed, which is fine. He was a bit of a fantasy darling.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is gonna unfortunately a product of what's around him. So, you know, we'll kind of
numbers is gonna phase him out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love Texans for what they're doing here, but I'm also terrified because they got Diggs.
Terrified because of what?
Because they got Diggs. I'm terrified because you think about Stroud being a rookie, or not a rookie, but you know, super young player, and he has this seasoned vet coming in, and he's gonna try to bully him. Be like,
yeah,
he's
gonna be in his ear screaming at, "Give me the ball! Give me the ball!"
Right,
and like, that's the worst thing you can do to a young, successful quarterback. And
right,
bring in that drama for him to deal with. I'd rather see him throw to no names than to throw to some fancy diva.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah, and that's essentially what he was doing last year. And those no names became like, oh, y'all are a big
deal. I mean, because everybody heard of Nico Collins, but he wasn't impactful until last year. It was just like, oh, Nico Collins, okay.
So they also got Ben. Yes. Oh God, I love Tank. So they picked up Ben Skoranek as well from the Rams. No, that's kind of.
He might not even make the team.
Yeah. Dalton Schultz re-signed, which is definitely good. Keep that kind of thing there. But offensively, that's all they did there. But they did. I mean, that's a lot. Like they don't hear what I'm not saying. They didn't do nothing. But um, I think they did exactly what they needed to do. Upgrade a little bit. I don't love the Diggs signing, even though it's the big name. But I'm just like, dude, what he brings with him, I don't know, man. I can't really.
Is the drama worth the production
Right,
on field? Well,
right.
I mean, he's definitely going to a place where he's not going to be the. I ain't gonna say he's not going to be the number one. He's going to try to talk himself into being the number one, but he definitely got weapons around him where
It's just
you
so
sit there and
weird.
try to shut down Diggs. Nico Collins and Tank Dell is going to eat you. And what's his name again? The tight end, Ferguson?
Schultz.
No,
Schultz.
Schultz. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to eat him. I mean, I just hope that what's the name doesn't have a sophomore slump. C.J. Stroud. I hope he's
I don't think he.
still.
I think he is the absolute real deal.
He look it.
Um,
I hope he is.
like he
Hope he
is.
don't get rattled. I mean,
He
or let the fame get to him. I mean, because sometimes people, the
no.
fame can get to you too.
He is gonna be a fucking problem for years to come. I really truly believe that he is gonna be a
I hope so.
problem because he is fun to watch, man. He is just so fun.
Yeah,
Um,
the Texans is starting to be like Detroit on the other end.
yeah,
Like that
dude,
team that you
calm.
like is good to root for. They
Yeah,
starting to be
good
that
call.
come that team from.
But you know what? It makes sense because they came from nothing. Like they were terrible.
Yeah.
And yeah, just shows you if you develop a team correctly, what can actually happen. So, all right, next, the Colts. My God. So
Anything?
Joe Flacco got not damn near $9 million a year to back up Mr. Richardson. So that'll be
Hmm.
fine.
I still don't
No,
know his full capability. He got hurt
yeah,
too quick.
yeah, but you know what? He is exciting as well.
Hmm.
Um, So I would love to see him actually be able to play, but he seems I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, he isn't brittle and it's just a bit of an anomaly. But
No, I don't
um,
think he's brittle. I just think he got that welcome to the NFL moment where he was so big he can just push these little kids in
yeah,
college around, and he gotten on the arena on the gridiron with some grown men where you can't
he
just
got
shove
got.
them down. They
He
will
got. That's what
they,
happened.
they will break your shoulder cap.
It's good to see Pittman. 3 years for 70. I feel like that's well deserved. I mean, they're definitely building around those two players. So they didn't really do anything else though. I mean, what else did they really need to do? I mean, I would say probably it probably honestly it wouldn't have hurt really. You think about it. It from a team standpoint, I don't know like what salary cap hell they were in, but it almost would have been better for everyone involved if Diggs went to Indy. You got Pittman on one side, Diggs on the other. You got a scrambling quarterback that really kind of makes you know the the linebackers kind of just kind of keep someone extra on him because he
Yeah,
will. Like, so it almost makes a little. I thought it would make a little bit more sense to go there, but they didn't really do anything else. They didn't sign anybody else offensively, so it's kind
that's
of
what I was
like
gonna say. I don't recall Indy being active at all.
they didn't like they really. I almost kind of wish maybe, um, like if Pittman would have took a bit of a more team friendly deal, so they could have went out and got someone like if they couldn't do Diggs, get someone like mid tier, somebody, um, that's gonna be more of a help because I know they got downs and whatever, but
That's what I was going to
he's
say. They
not
probably
really
got a lot of
man.
confidence in that young kid that down. I forgot his name. Now you
Yeah,
just said it. Josh Downs. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he's talented, yeah, but I can't say he's like a definitive number two in the league. Like
Yeah,
he's
he
the
got
number
to
two on
bulk
that
some more.
team,
Yeah,
but
I think he got to bulk up a little bit more because he looked like
yeah, he's
he
a tiny little fellow.
like one little hit and he's.
Yeah. All right, the Jags. Speaking of Mac Jones, that's where he went. He literally went for a 6th round pick. So the Patriots were like, dude, we want you so little. We're gonna send you for what most people use for like, a punter.
A punter or
So
a kicker.
like, so I don't know. I've never been a Trevor Lawrence fan. I think he's overhyped. That whole team, and it's funny because you remember a few years back they were like a powerhouse from a defense. Like you were like, sure, I don't want to play them. Now it's like you guys suck. You guys suck. Again, you guys always suck. And speaking of sucking, and this is
I know Gabe Davis. That's where he went.
Christ, yeah. So 3-year, $39 million deal that has a max value with incentives for $50 million. What the fuck?
What are they seeing? But hey, we questioned Jacksonville when they brought in Christian Kirk. He became the man, but
yeah, that's I mean fair, but yeah, that's fair. Devin Duvernay came in there. Cool.
Oh, Duvernay left Baltimore. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
He wasn't nothing.
Right.
Okay.
They they already had Dearness Johnson. Cool. Yeah, that team is gonna be shit. So really, it's not. I don't know. I don't see them doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, fantasy players that you would use on there is just ETN and
Kirk.
I guess, and Kirk. Yeah, that's it.
That's really it. Yeah.
And I mean, if you got a 2 quarterback league, of course you got to lean on Lawrence. But
I would stay away from that too. There's much better options out there in those those kind of teen rounds where you'd start drafting your second.
Tiers, the other tier, yeah.
You're just not. I'm not. Mm-mm. So speaking of, God, it's like the Isle of the Misfit Toys. Tennessee Titans, Mason Rudolph. What's funny? I've been seeing a lot of this stuff, and I'll kind of deviate away from what we're doing here just really quick because we are Steeler fans. We're in Pittsburgh, all that other fun stuff. And what's super interesting is everyone is like clamoring over Mason, saying they did him dirty because they said he was going to have a chance, and then they signed these other 2 quarterbacks. And my thing is, have you not ever watched him play football? He is good in small little amounts.
In small increments, yeah.
He's been given the keys to the castle so many times to try to prove himself, and he did fuck all with it every time. So now that he's gone, everyone's like, oh man, they did him dirty. No, you know what this is? This is a business. This is what you do. You try to get your team better. And if you have an opportunity to do that, and here's the other thing. People are like, well, I mean, he was talented. Oh, really? Was he? Because he was sitting behind Pickett and Trubisky. How fucking talented was he?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's the epitome of a backup quarterback. They are only good in small increments. And then you get too much of them, you get exposed, and you realize why they are a backup.
Yes.
Yep.
And he got, it said a max value of 3.6, but the base is 2.8. I don't know, man. Whatever, I guess. I don't understand money apparently. Tony Pollard had to come in to do something, so he got a job. A 3-year, $24 million contract for basically a giant swing and a miss last year. They had to replace Henry, so maybe.
Well, the shoes he got to fill there for that fan base is just ridiculous. You used to watching Derrick Henry plow through them holes, and now you got little ass Pollard going through them holes. It's going to take a lot of adjusting for that fan base.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Tyler Boyd. Everyone locally was like, "Oh man,
go get him!" They was going crazy. I'm like, I don't want his washed up ass.
like, what do we already have nothing going on in the receiving core. Like, why do you want to muddy the waters even more with him?
Yeah, what are you looking for a third or fourth receiver for? Like everybody around here, let's get Tyler Boyd. I was definitely not on that.
We don't need a third and fourth, motherfucker. We're still trying to figure out our second.
Yeah, yeah. They just kept people around here, like you said, clamoring for him. I'm like, I was not on that train. I was like, hell no, I don't want that dude.
I was with you, man. I saw too many people all about that, and I didn't get it. Calvin Ridley, got a fat contract. 4-year, $92 million.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty.
Don't know why.
Substantial.
Yeah, don't know why. He left Jacksonville and went to greener pastures. Okay. Okay.
Well, so now that receiving core is pretty much. Hop is still there, right? I mean, Hop, Ridley, and then they had that one dude that I kept getting burned with last year. What was his name? Traylon Burks, I think.
Oh God, Traylon Burks.
Yeah.
They re-signed Westbrook Kine too, but so yeah, I mean they have some bodies there. It's just kind of, I think they definitely overpaid considerably for Ridley.
Yeah.
I think Julio made Ridley. That's my hot take, to be honest.
But good call. Good call. I don't see him as a number one. Yeah. He's a good complimentary piece. So I don't know. Maybe they look at Hop as their number one and he's the compliment, but Hop is on his last.
Dude, I was gonna say if Hop is your number one at this point, you are not in a good place. Like that is
that's a tail end of his career.
It's like saying Odell is your fucking number one.
Yeah, you're surefire one.
I don't know if it's that important or not, but Nick Vannett signed with him. So we'll see. Veteran tight end. Probably just going to be more of a blocker than anything.
Blocking tight end, yeah. He's a big receiving tight end. They already got that one, what's his name? It's African name. What was his name?
Oh, Christ, I don't know.
Okonkwo, something up.
Yeah.
Chukwueze Okonkwo or something. That's their receiving tight end. That's who they go with.
Yeah, exactly. And this is just going to be the run blocking thing, so that's fine.
Yep.
All right. So AFC West, the Broncos. Oh God. Oh God, this poor team, dude. This poor team. So they're putting the reins behind Zach Wilson, which they traded for a 7th-round pick. I'm pretty sure Zach Wilson was a 1st-round pick, so that's pretty goddamn funny.
Yeah. Same thing with Mac Jones. I mean,
just
1st-round picks that end up being backups or you can gave up for pretty much a cigarette and a bag of chips.
Dude,
it's crazy.
Like, and not even a full pack, like a literal Lucy from the
It's crazy.
We missed our Chappelle reference in X's nose there, so we had to throw it in today's episode.
Well, we didn't have any jokes, but I mentioned Chappelle because we were talking about the.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the roast with Kevin Hart. But yeah, so is he? I mean, I know they drafted the quarterback out of Oregon, Bo Nix, whatever. So I'm thinking, like, or do they really plan on trotting out Zach Wilson as their starter?
Dude, I hope not. I really hope not. Like, if I'm Bo Nix, I'm coming in here like, I gotta learn from this fucking guy. Learn what? What am I learning?
He ain't learning a thing. He going off of everything he already know because you ain't gonna learn nothing from no Zach Wilson.
Not.
And I saw it. I ain't gonna say I saw it. I'm not just gonna sit there and act like I'm gonna some type of, a future teller or anything. But when Zach Wilson was getting drafted, I can't remember who was in that draft, but I kept saying to myself, like, and they kept showing his tape and all that. I was like, he don't look like that dude. Like, it just was like, I don't know, you just get a feeling, and it just seemed like he wasn't. I don't watch college enough, but I just seen that. I can't remember who the quarterbacks were that got drafted right around him, but I just looked at it as like they made a mistake. That dude does not. I mean, some people just look the part. He did not look it. And he proved to not be it.
At signing at like quarterbacks, they went Sam Darnold. Woof. Like, let's do Zach Wilson now. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with your scouting team?
Yeah.
What are you seeing here?
And you supposed to hit on first round picks. First round picks, man. You got so much time to think about it. And
Hey,
they came out of the room and said and handed the card to whoever and said, "We want Sam Darnold or we want Zach Wilson." Like, who is your personnel? Who is making these decisions for you?
they need fired. Josh Reynolds, 2-year deal, $14 million. Nice knowing you, Reynolds. It was good when you were in Detroit, having fun there. You're going to
You're going to die in
die.
Denver. He is going to die.
And that's all they did. And that's like the bonkers thing. It's like, you guys, what? So I don't care. Have fun. Like that.
I mean, imagine being a fan of that fan base or a season ticket holder, and you see the effort that your team has done to try to make your season better next year. It's like, you know how you feel about the Pirates. It's like, what did y'all do?
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good point, man. That's a good comp. It's it sucks seeing that just from a fan of the sport, because you want you want the teams to be competitive, right? You don't want to see them make super lateral moves unless they are insanely successful and they don't really need to do much more. But
either that or if they got like a cap problem, they made a big mistake, and you know that they can't keep up because they got a big problem with who paying their players. But
we'll get to their cap situation here in a few teams. So like you understand what I'm saying with that, right? Like, who is Denver playing? Who is Denver paying right now to not be on their team?
The quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So we'll get to him. But next on the list is the Chiefs. Somehow or another, Carson Wentz has a job, so he's there. They signed Hollywood Brown on pretty much a kind of team-friendly 1 year, $11 million prove-it deal.
Hollywood Brown went to the Chiefs? Damn.
Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, yeah.
I mean, I might have heard it, but it didn't stick to my brain. Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking to myself, like, man, can they players stay out of the news? Like, every time I turn around, they doing something controversial. Like that Riche Rice. It's like, if that dude sneezes, he's going to get arrested nowadays. It seems like everything he do is an arrest now. I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
Like when you get caught one time, if they so much as see you kill a stink bug, you're going to be arrested.
Yeah, it's a little like, you guys got to be smarter out there. Like, I don't know what y'all are doing, but like, you guys are on like a Super Bowl bound team every year. Like, don't be a fucking idiot. Yeah. Here's a thought. Like, I expect this from Browns players because fuck the Browns.
Yeah.
Kelsey signed a 2-year, $34 million deal. I mean, that's probably going to be his last contract.
Yeah. Fine. I see Kelsey is he's on the tail end. I don't know anybody that's mad or upset. You could see his decline was pretty much coming. It started last year, and he is no longer that first tight end off the board. Sam Laporta probably is.
What they were doing last year is they were really like holding him out some because they wanted to keep him fresh for the playoffs. So like, you know, they're at that point, and he's getting this like preferential treatment, which doesn't obviously happen ever because that isn't what happens. But he has earned that right to be able to kind of not play when he wants to play, but, you know, keep me for when the games matter more type of thing, which I'm fully okay with it. I mean, he has more than earned his right to do that.
Yeah.
Big Irv Smith, he signed there too. I mean, it's a nothing signing, but it's a name that can do stuff sometimes, maybe in like the red zone potentially. I don't know. They didn't really have to do too much. Like I said, I mean, they definitely. I mean, they re-signed Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but who gives a shit? That guy sucks. Big old bust.
Big old bust.
But yeah, I mean, they're probably going to have to figure out something for the wide receiver core, though, because chances are Rice is probably going to miss at least half the year.
At least half the year with all that stuff that he got caught up in. Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of a shitty thing for him
Hollywood
there.
Brown and I don't know who else is there. The MBS was there. He ain't there now. So who are their other receivers?
There's not much. Not much. I can't even actually think who else is.
Well, they drafted somebody, but
Yeah.
some Xavier Worthy, but that's still a rookie.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like a veteran presence.
He's definitely going to step up. He's going to be like their number 2, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're going to probably have to get someone off their couch.
Yeah. Come the season, they probably think that they can work it out now, but first couple games they're gonna realize he has nobody to throw it to.
Yeah, that or they're gonna have to make a pretty good trade. Like they're gonna have to get rid of some kind of defensive, stalwart on their team to get on an offensive threat because they can't. Mahomes can be Mahomes, but Mahomes also needs people to, I don't know. You need some options there because you can't just rely on older Kelsey and Hollywood, the often injured person.
Yeah.
That guy.
And then Rashee Rice was developing into your good, solid option outside of Travis Kelsey, and he can't stop the off the field antics. So they're gonna have to find somebody somewhere.
I'm going into that season thinking he's missing the first 8. So by missing the first 8, you're basically missing the first 11. Because actually maybe even the first 12 if your bye week isn't in that little thing. So if you have a later bye week, it's going to take you 2-3 weeks to get your stuff together. Plus you get the bye week. So you may get him for 3-4 games for the regular season.
Yeah.
Have fun.
And when players come off those suspensions, they don't just jump on the field and just be wildly productive. It takes them a while
to practice at the facility. You realize you were banned. You can do your little home drills and shit, whatever, but that ain't it. That's like hitting at the batting cage and then going into game action in baseball.
It takes them 2 or 3 weeks just to get into football shape and for them to even recognize the speed of the game. So I would probably stay away from him.
And that's to say he's actually going to be dedicated to doing that stuff because you never know. Like, you never know if you're dumb enough to do these character issue stuff and then get in trouble again by pushing a reporter. It's like, dude, I can't trust you from a grown ass man standpoint. Like, you're not acting like a grown ass man. So all right, Raiders. God. How? Jesus Christ. Okay, Minshew. 2-year, $25 million deal.
12.5 a year.
Bonkers. Cool, I guess. I don't know. Good for him. He's fun. But
quarterbacks, like I said, is in the $50 million range. Anything under 20.
But a starter, but what? All right. Anyway. Alexander Madison went here.
That's where he went? Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Giant old bust. Maybe they make each other better. Maybe him, I don't know. I got a real bad taste in my mouth with him. Was really all about him. I was definitely behind what he was going to do in Minnesota and didn't do shit.
Yeah.
So, go to Oakland, you got a 2-headed monster now. We'll kind of see how that goes. 2 different types of
no, they lost Jacobs. So
Oh yeah, they did. Oh yeah. Who? Wait, is that all they have now?
I guess Madison and that. What was that one guy?
Zamir White or
Zamir White or something.
Oh God, they are fucked. Never mind. Oh God, I forgot about that. Oh Jesus. Did they?
Yeah, Jacobs went to Green Bay,
Minnesota.
Huh?
Did they not see what happened in Minnesota? How bad he was? Oh my!
Teams be thinking like, "Hey, we're gonna bring him and surround him with You know,
Jesus, you
it's
better
gonna
just
be so
sign
much
Delvin
better.
Cook just to be on the sideline so we can have like some of his aura back because he was actually talented. And we made a mistake here because I remember on the last show we talked about Dallas and Michael Gallup, so I was incorrect. They actually Raiders signed Michael Gallup,
Oh, okay.
so that's super exciting. Jalen Guyton. Good
Oh
God.
wow.
Like, it's
Him out of San Diego.
yeah, because he was super talented. The best. Holy shit, this team is going to be unwatchable.
Yeah,
Have fun there.
we got Madison. You got Devontae Adams is the only worth
Yeah,
a
but you
damn.
still got David Carr throwing the ball.
No, Carr's in New Orleans. Remember, they got
Yeah.
some. They got some dudes.
I'm
What's
like
his
a year
name? Aiden
behind.
O'Connell or something. Aiden O'Connell and some. They picked up a free agent. It ain't on there. It was some free agent quarterback they
Are you
grabbed.
sure? Nah. Well, this is the most up to date thing. So you sure that wasn't Minshew?
Minshew probably. If that's
Yeah.
what you just said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Minshew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
you
it's
are
either
right. Yeah,
Minshew
I
throwing
don't
it to
know.
him or the other guy.
It's off season for me too, boys. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that team's gonna suck. Still. I don't even want to talk about them anymore. I'm all set. Chargers. Speaking of another team that underachieved like crazy.
Well, speaking of another team that did it, Buffalo Bills, where they let everyone out the building, and they
like
said, "Let's blow it
this
up and start
was
over."
yeah, like they mass exodus. Like J.K. Dobbins 1 year deal. Okay, we'll see. Because he wanted to follow his friend, the Gus Bus went there too.
Dang, both Ravens backs.
Yeah. 2 year, 6.5 for Gus. Pretty boring deal there. DJ Shark. 1 year, 5 million. That's more of a prove it deal. I don't know. He likes to get hurt too.
Yes, he does.
Will Disley. From
Seattle.
Who cares? Hayden Hurst. Who cares? I don't know what they're doing there. That team, they are literally wasting Surfer Boy out there. Wasting.
Yeah, Herbert. Yeah, they're wasting his talent because you let Keenan Allen walk out the building, get Mike Williams out the building. You got a third wide receiver that was a rookie that couldn't catch a cold last year. You let Austin Eckler out of the building. What is their plan? I don't know. You just gonna hand it off to the Baltimore backs the whole time, or?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's still bad because it sucks because dude is good. And I'm like, what are you doing, man? I don't know. All right, let's go to our AFC North, and we'll end with our team at the end, and then we'll get the hell out of here. So, I mean, not really an important signing enough, but for the Ravens, Josh Johnson, which no one really even knew he was still in the league. That's fun. Nobody knows who he is. Go look up whenever the Redskins were the Redskins, you'll find him. Derrick Henry, 2 year, $16 million contract, which is very, very team friendly.
Yes, it is.
I would say if any running back would fit anywhere, it would be him there. So,
you think Derrick still got tread on the tires?
Enough to just fall in the end zone, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't expect 3 years ago, lines from him. I mean, you're gonna probably get like 40 yards and 2 touchdowns, things like that. That's gonna be his, which for fantasy is fucking beautiful.
Yes, it is.
I mean, like they're not like just understand, like temper your expectations that there may be weeks where he's getting 40 yards, 50 yards, 20 yards, things like that. But he'll probably topple into the end zone. So,
Yeah, I
now,
don't think they're gonna run him out there like the bell cow. Like
no, they
they
don't
got
have
that
to.
one little speedster. What was his name? Oh man, can't remember. They had a little speedster that can run. That's why they got rid of. Well, J.K. Dobbins was a walking accident. And then Gus, they got rid of him. But then, man, I can't remember what the guy's name is. But they
I know
got
who
a
you're
little
talking about. I can't think
speed
either.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like he was kind of real fast.
Well,
So
I
they
mean,
got
even with
him,
that, I
and
mean, you have Lamar. Like that's
yeah,
the other X factor there too. So like if you even if like you have a lot of options going on there. So I think that actually is going to give Henry a resurgence a little bit because he isn't going to have that pressure of
8-man
the
boxes.
team, right? Like the team is not built around you. Like they're expecting it really to go to Lamar still.
Yeah,
So you know,
he should have some more success. Yeah.
yeah. Aguilar re-signed. Who cares? Deontay Hardy signed. Who cares? And it's just I've always felt very like Ravens receivers are just like inconsequential. They
It
always
seemed
are.
like they just never go out and get a bona fide number one. They
Right.
always got all these role playing
Well, they tried with
receivers.
Hollywood, but
Yeah, they never developed into. I mean, Duvernay was a role player. What's the other guy's name? Bateman, Rashad Bateman.
yeah.
Role player. They thought he was going to be the number one. Zay Flowers, I guess, is probably the closest that they've gotten to a number one. I
I
mean,
think it's a Lamar problem. I don't think he's actually that good of a quarterback, and everyone that's probably like the other hot take for the day. Everyone is all about
yeah,
him.
the
Like
only one he
MVP, I'm like,
feeds regularly is Andrews. Yeah, that is it. He
like
don't
I don't
really
think Lamar's actually that good. Like
passing wise.
no,
I definitely don't. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't.
He
There's no
gets
game
one
where
knee
I was just
injury,
like,
he's gonna be a big nobody. Like that's what it is. Like that's what
well,
makes
all those
him
scrambling and all those antics, it work until you get to the playoffs and the teams study your every move. I'm pretty sure there's people in that film room that watch every game, every snap, every tendency you have, and they shut him down. There's a reason why he has not got to the Super Bowl. They when they get in those big pressure cooker games,
well that and you don't have an offensive
shut him
line.
down.
Like that's the thing. You can't do that without having an offensive juggernaut on the receiving end at least. Like you can't that just doesn't work. Yeah, but that's all they did, which is fine because fuck the Ravens. All right. Bengals. Who gives a shit? But fine, we'll go over them.
He said, "Who gives a shit?"
So Zach Moss is their big running back signing because they somehow figured that they bought into the 1 year that Zach Moss was good. Big bad.
They bought into like the 2 or 3 weeks that he was good for the Colts.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah.
Never really was great in Buffalo.
Move.
Yeah. And they got rid of Joe Mixon for Zach Moss.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They franchised Higgins. Okay. I mean, he'll be out next year.
Yeah.
The great white hope of Trent Irwin is still there. He resigned for 1 year, $2 million. So good for that white guy. We talked about him earlier. Gesicki, he's now a Bengal. Doesn't matter. Who cares? That's it. That's all they did. Which, honestly, that's fine because they do have a good offensive kind of setup, except now that they completely got rid of their running back thing. I don't know if they drafted a running back or not.
Well, it was that one running back. He was a little scat, he was a smaller back. He was like a light-skinned guy. He was pretty fast. I can't remember his name. They let him play a couple times, and he broke off a couple, but I can't remember his name. But I don't know if they're going to turn to him as the bell cow. I guess so. If they let Mixon out the building.
They're going to go Zach Moss as the bell cow. They didn't dedicate a lot to him, just 2 years for $8 million, but still, it's like I really, if Burrow could actually stay upright and not die every year and have some kind of crazy injury,
Yeah.
they would be very scary.
Well, I mean, the one year that he stayed upright, they went to the Super Bowl. So, but that window has closed. It's like that window was wide open. Now it's like it just keeps going lower and lower. Now that window's at a crack.
Yeah.
If they don't win it this year, that window's
Well,
going to
yeah,
close
they
up. As
don't
soon as
do.
T. Higgins leaves, the
Yeah,
window is
that's
closed.
exactly what it is. I mean, he's on a franchise tag. There's no way he's staying around there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the special ed team of the division, the Browns. So Tyler Huntley signed there. Who cares? Jameis Winston, what the fuck are you doing, dummy? Don't make me not like you. Like, the fuck. So you got $4 million with a max value of about $9 million. That's fine. Deontay Foreman went there. Okay.
Foreman, my boy Foreman from Chicago. All right.
Naheem Hines went there. Okay.
What? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Jerry Jeudy.
That's different.
I mean, yeah, but it's still Jerry Jeudy. He was shit in Denver. Will be shit here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you still have that fucking groper out here, chucking you the ball. So have fun.
That's probably why James was like, man, dang, he ain't gonna last. I'm gonna get a couple snaps.
Yeah, I mean,
and they got rid of Flacco, so
yeah, I mean,
Jameis is feeling like he got a good chance to start.
Yeah,
fucking Deshaun Watson. What a dysfunctional organization that just does dysfunctional things for decades.
Right?
Decades.
It's like the girl, right? It's like the girl that always ends up with like the real, like, train wreck of a dude.
Yeah.
But she always goes over that same prototype every time. And
she always date a jock or something that beats her the hell up or something like that. But she just always say, I can't get no luck with men because you keep going after the same men.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And I'm like, okay. So Jerry Jeudy will just kind of drop passes in lesser cold Denver. That's fine.
Well, it's all about. I mean, you see how gruesome Nick Chubb's injury is. Is he gonna come back normal, or is he done now? You never know.
Yeah,
that injury was pretty. Whew.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, I care, but I'm also like,
it's the Browns.
Fuck the Browns. Fuck them.
Yeah.
All right, so we signed like 19 people. So the actual team that we're all here to hear. So the Steelers signed Kyle Allen. I don't know if you knew that or not, but they signed Kyle Allen. Yeah, he was like a backup for. I think he was a backup for Josh in Buffalo for a while. And I also think
that's a quarterback.
Yeah.
Kyle Allen. I thought he. Oh. Did he play in Washington? No, you said he was in Buffalo.
I think he may. He's been around. He's fucking terrible.
Okay. See, I didn't even know who their third quarterback was.
Yeah, well, there you go. Because we literally just spent our free agency signing our fucking quarterback room. So, probably number 2 on the depth chart and probably number 1 next year. This is my thought. Justin Fields.
Me too.
So. I think this is going to be a year where Justin sits under the next person, Russell Wilson, which, once again, I'm not thrilled with Russell Wilson. I think he's not great, but from what we had, sweet baby Jesus, thank you.
Yeah.
But I think what's going to happen.
I think the Seattle, everybody keeps saying, which Russell are we going to get, the Seattle one or the Denver one? No, I think it's going to be a combination of both. I mean, like, he's going to probably look a little bit better than he did look in Denver, but don't expect the Seattle Russell Wilson.
No, this is going to be very much sit down in the learning tree here, Justin, and learn from me. And you will more than likely get the reins next year, and we're going to draft a quarterback next year, and then you're going to teach them, and then we're going to get you the fuck off this team. And And that's how that's going to pretty much go. That's how that should go. That's how that rolling thing should be. Because Russell is not going to be the generational talent. Justin sure as shit is going to be the generational talent. You need to draft your generational talent, but you need them to learn. So Russell teach Justin, Justin teach whoever. There you go. And then you fucking have something that looks like a team again. Speaking of making a team again. Oh, wait. No, we didn't do that because we signed shit afterwards. So, Van Jefferson, you'll be cut. Scotty Miller, you'll be cut. Cordero fucking Patterson.
See,
goddamn go. So, anyone that
fantasy cheat code.
Listen, anyone that has not listened to our, correspondence for Cordero Patterson, please understand, we fucking love this guy.
I know he could come here and do absolutely jack shit. We still gonna be excited just to hear his name because we're living off of his past of what he's done.
We're absolutely a member berries, but he is just, I don't know, man. Dude's just electric. Like yeah. But there's like a weird. Oh, we signed Quez Watkins too. Why the fuck did we do that?
He's a speedster. He's just one of those people that's just. Russell Wilson, he still can throw that moon ball. He still can throw that ball that look like it'll go out of the stadium and come back down in the stadium. So I imagine Quez Watson's going to be good for one or two of those attempts. I'm not saying they're going to be completions, but attempts.
He might be like a clear out, wide out where he just kind of spreads the field so the underneath stuff is there. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And that's all we did. Not really much of an upgrade. We lost Deontay, which really wasn't a loss because once again he's like Diggs 2.0. So I guess I can't say Van and Scotty will be cut. They'll probably make the team just by necessity. But yeah,
because we don't got too many cups in the cupboard.
Yeah, it's I think it's going to be another rough year, but it's going to have, I don't know. I think it's at least going to be a watchable product this year. Just don't expect them to do anything. It's going to probably be, as long as Joe is healthy, it's going to be Joe leading the charge here for the division. If he gets hurt, then it'll be Lamar just because of default. The Browns are going to be the fucking Browns. They're going to be whatever they do. Who gives a shit? Which I feel like is just generally the whole feel of Cleveland. They're like, fucking who gives a shit? For what? I have fucking everything. I don't give a fuck it. I don't know. But yeah. I feel like it was definitely a very productive offseason. Exciting, enticing, whatever word you want to put on it, but a lot of moves. And by the way, like I said, I'm gonna get the numbers on that for the next X's and O's we do here, so I can say So the NFC did this many and AFC did this many, whatever. Because I am curious because I didn't really look that up. But yeah, that was a roundup. It was definitely probably the most movement I've ever seen in an offseason.
Oh, in Pittsburgh?
No,
or you just talking about everywhere
in the whole league.
Yeah, there's a lot of shakeups, and we already mentioned two teams that just blew up the whole thing, and just I don't know if they're just going to go to draft picks or maybe somebody new will emerge. With Buffalo and the Chargers, they seem to have blown the whole thing up, and they're going to start over. But another thing, gives me a little bit more optimism about the Steelers is, of course, we didn't mention no defensive players, but we signed some decent free agents, and
let's fucking go.
Yeah, couple defensive players that I'm excited to see, but we didn't really go over defensive players, but
right, we can't do the homer shit. We can't.
Yeah,
that ain't right.
Yeah, but at the same time, make your own rules.
I mean, this is fair. God damn it, I do pay the fucking bills.
But yeah, so good show, good going over.
Yeah,
some of those moves I forgot all about them. It was just like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, and that just kind of reiterates even more like just the absolute rapid fire that those first few days were. Because I know we're definitely late to the party because this shit ended a while back. But, obviously we had some things going on and whatever, but we still wanted to kind of talk about it because it's what we fucking do.
Yeah.
Now, here's the big thing here before you guys stop listening. We are absolutely, and I got to figure it out. I got to play with it and figure out how to do it, but we are live streaming the fantasy football draft we're doing. I'm very
a lot
excited.
Of tilt.
It's so much tilt. Oh my goodness. Listen, you guys.
Because everybody's quick to hit those buttons those first 3 or 4 rounds, but then after that, it's like, what am I
doing? You don't understand. You don't understand until you understand how much me and this motherfucker are alike, and how the mind meld, as beautiful it is for a productivity thing on the podcast, it's great. But when it comes to being competitive,
it is terrible.
It is awful.
And it ain't just the draft, everybody. It's throughout the season, waiver wire pickups. This dude is going after the same people.
It is so frustrating. And what makes it even worse is because this is such a deep, crazy league that it's like, how the fuck did you? How did you? It doesn't even make sense.
I know. I don't know how many waiver picks where I was just like, they'll never see this one coming. Sure enough, I see your name being claimed. I'm like, what? How did he know?
It's the same thing on this side too. I'm sitting there like, and I was on the fence. Why the fuck did you knock me off the fence?
Yeah, I still remember last season, Noah Brown. I swear, it was like 3:00 in the afternoon, and I was just like, I'll make that pick a little later. And like later on that night, I was like, why didn't I hit the button at 3:00?
That was a good moment.
Oh man, he was a darling too for a couple weeks for you.
Yeah, he was banging out like 200 yards a game for like 2 weeks straight. I'm like.
Meanwhile, I'm losing to people that ain't even putting full rosters in by like a little bit, and that would have just pushed me right over the edge.
Oh yeah, and I didn't let you forget about it. And I know it was tilting you up, and I was like, "Where's my knife? Let me twist that bitch a little bit. Let me just like that." Yeah, that's all right. I got my comeuppance because Bob just steamrolled me. He steamrolled everybody in the playoffs. He just was like, "Hold my fucking case of beer."
Yeah.
And, yeah.
He steamrolled me 2 weeks back to back. To end the season and to open up the postseason. It's like, let me beat your ass 2 times. Handily, too.
Right. Oh. But yeah, so that's it, man. We got that going on. We'll probably have a few more preseason or off-season shows here, but we don't really kind of get into it till probably like from a semi-regular standpoint. Probably not till what, kind of right in the middle of August or something like that. We'll talk.
Might be, because
but
I don't see too much activity going on with the NFL.
To talk about. What are we going to talk about?
I mean, until they start opening them preseason games. I mean, what else? Like, the NFL has ran its course. I mean, the last big event was the schedule release, which they did this week. And now that that's over, you ain't going to hear nothing. You're going to hear about an OTA here and there and who didn't attend. And
right.
That's about the most excitement you're going to hear until August.
No, that's exactly what it is. 100%. That's all that's going to happen. It's just going to be like, okay, we'll.
Yep, it is baseball season. Well, we're closing out the NBA and hockey season.
Yeah.
And summers is all baseball. All baseball.
It is weird. I feel like that's the only sport that really just kind of straight up dominates. Kind of.
There's no other game in town for them. Nothing.
Interesting.
They are not competing. No one.
Wow, it'd be cool.
Unless you watch those Aldi football leagues with USFL and all of that. I
motherfucker called them Aldi football leagues. God damn.
I can't get into if I can't even watch college Do you think I can watch a whole different professional
Man, if they
organization?
did like the XFL and it was like super fucking violent, that would be awesome to watch. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know, man. Like, I can't. I don't know. I can't get into it. It's just not really real football. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the NFL is if we were a relationship, the NFL has my loyalty. I'm not cheating on them because it's like
Right.
I can't get excited about another league.
Yeah,
Like I
it's just
said,
not the
if I
real
can't
thing.
even do college, what makes you think
Right.
I'm going to watch some sport that
Right.
none
Like,
of
I'm
none of the
trying to watch
players?
the Diet Pepsi of fucking football. I'm all set.
Yeah, yeah, I'm good. Yep.
All right, boys and girls. So that was fun. Um, uh, we won't see you for a while, probably. We'll figure out if we figure out something to talk about and put out there for the football thing. We'll put out a blurb, but yeah, check out the website at the bottom. That's all there. That's about all I got.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right.
Great show. Great show.
All right.
Can't wait. We got 16 weeks
16
to wait.
weeks, man. God damn. Love it. All right, brother. Well, you
No,
take it easy, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
yes, sir. You do
All
the
right.
same.